Austin Theory against John Cena. Basic match. Theory blows him and hits him for the and beats him by cheating. This is I mean, these guys weren't going to have like a 4 or 5 star match, but it was a serviceable John Cena match. Good for Theory. He looks good out there.
Yeah, Cena was mega over. Actually went outside for this match. He was mega over. I thought he let A-Town look good. Cena made the comeback and locked in that
the STF.
That STF, but the referee had been knocked down. Mm-hmm. So he didn't see Theory tapping out. That's why.
Who did we in our prediction show? Who did we predict?
Theory.
Do you remember Theory?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And then of course he hit him with the low blow, and Cena's a little bit slower than usual, but you can't really say anything because he's not full time. Mm-hmm. It was a good match. It was not great like a WrestleMania type match, but it was a good match.
Next was the Tag Team Showcase. I think I predicted the winner here also. The Street Profits go over. There's a good finishing sequence. Ricochet performed a shooting star onto Dawkins and Eric. And back in the ring, he did the shooting star on Dawkins. Dawkins put his knees up and then held Ricochet in place. And then Ford came off the top rope while he was holding Ricochet on his knees and splashed him onto what's his name's knee. Which I think Dawkins grabbed his knee after that. But that's a good way to get hurt. Like putting a lot of pressure on your knee. Like he had the guys like. You got your knees up, you got a guy on top of you, and you got a lot of pressure coming down on your knees, and it's like that's not good for the joints, but it worked.
Who did we predict in this, Joe?
I predicted the Street Profits.
Yeah, I think you both.
Because I said they would tell a story or something coming out of
this.
Did
you not write it down? No.
I didn't know we were taking the WrestleMania predictions that seriously.
Well, why would you ask us for predictions?
I remember my predictions.
Yeah, but you guys both picked the Street Profits. No, right. I know that.
I highly doubt that. Anyway,
I did. Because I made mention that it was.
I don't believe Joe
because these guys have a storyline coming out of this. So
right.
Yeah, but my question is, why wouldn't you write this down, Joe? Because you didn't think we were taking it seriously. Then why would we make predictions?
I don't know.
Next, Logan Paul.
I'm out of it. I got an infection in my jaw, and it's just.
Come on, dude.
I'm serious.
I'm super sick. I
know.
Bring it up every day.
That's why I'm here.
Sick.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here too.
But it said, "Oh, my jaw hurts," and I was like, "Connan's on."
Poor guy. Yeah.
All right. So next is Seth Rollins against Logan Paul.
I don't.
Rollins. Seth comes. Paul comes out on a with a headset mic, and he's like the Shawn Michaels entrance from WrestleMania that time.
Let me just say this. That I thought that match was really good. It was action packed. Like
the tag match.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. And the crowd was really into it. There was a good thing there where Gable did with Strowman, which was awesome. But this was a really good match.
I want to make a point.
Yeah,
bro. You notice how since coming out of the pandemic. There's no more hijacking of shows by fans. Like everybody's getting the right reactions. The heels are getting booed. Yeah. So it's interesting.
They only hijacked it when you didn't give them what they wanted.
There's a attempted hijacking of the show on Friday. There's a hashtag Fire Vince on Twitter, encouraging everyone that attends the show to chant Fire Vince.
Bro, these goofs on Twitter just are so stupid. It's like we'll talk about it when we do the Raw review, but so Seth had a crazy outfit on, all red, weird looking. He looked good. These guys just look like 2 stars. This is a good match. They start off wrestling. It built up. Paul came out with the Prime Energy drink. I thought it was going to be Jake Paul.
That was good.
That was in it. So they did a lot of cool spots. They did. Let me tell you something. They did a spot where Logan Paul got knocked out of the ring. And Seth did the running tope dives, 3 of them in a row. Bro, Logan Paul sold them perfectly. It's like he got knocked into the boards each time and like sold it like that. That was like very very cool
his
little
selling
detail.
Was great. Not
his
just
selling's
that.
excellent.
I mean, he's match.
Yeah,
he's incredible.
Incredible spot near the end. They did a deal where KSI was revealed, so he was in the Prime thing. So they did a spot where Logan goes up on the
Bro, if
top
they want to
turnbuckle.
tell me it was KSI, I had no doubt who that guy was.
Right, I wouldn't either. So
Yeah, right.
So Logan Paul goes up top. Rollins is on the announcer table. KSI has his back to Rollins, and he's like filming it for a viral thing with the camera. And so they timed this spot so perfectly because you could tell, like, you know, how they had the timing down. Paul drinks the Prime, okay, spits it up in the air. At that moment when he spits up in the air, you look and see Rollins going back. Rollins grabs KSI and yanks him onto the table. So Paul spits and then jumps, and not realizing he's already jumped the guy, he splashes KSI on the table. It's a great spot. Perfect timing. And then they did a couple of near falls, goes back in the ring, and he hits him with the So Rollins was going to do is he was in the corner. Paul was on the opposite the other corner to his right, okay, and was going to do the thing where he jumps all the way across the ring. So he jumps, and Rollins gets up and super kicks him out of midair, and then hits him with the curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. Excellent spot. This is really good. What did you think of this?
Yeah, Rollins always, you know, he's just, especially in big matches, he always delivers. But by the way, let me get back to Joe with the infected jaw. If anybody on the Discord wants to start a Fire Joe thing, I will take it into account.
Please don't do that.
Because now the reason is that the reason he didn't take our predictions seriously is because his jaw was
infected.
Let me see. So anyways, I thought that
But everybody picked Rollins in this. I do know that.
Yeah. Because
I thought he sold well. You know, he hit all his everything he tried. He hit. He had great facials. I love the conductor leading the crowd with Rollins' theme song in the entrance. I thought that was good. I liked Paul's slingshot lariat, and I also like when he jumped straight to the top rope to hit the moonsault.
And he missed.
Yeah.
It's a good match. Logan Paul
match.
continues to exceed expectations every time he performs.
Right.
So next, I gotta admit, I didn't watch this next match. Becky Lynch, Trish and Lead against Damage Control.
I didn't either.
Do you have anything to say about this, Konnan?
Yeah, I did watch the match because I was backstage.
All right.
Okay, the match had a couple good things in it, okay? But it felt kind of, what would be the word? I don't know, like there was something missing. It just wasn't all there. It was kind of a little bit, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. But anyways, you know, you can't really say anything about Stratus looked like she was gonna come out of her bra, you know. But anyways, Stratus and Lita, they haven't been, you know, around for so they're just like Cena, you know. You can't really, you know, be expecting much from them. You know what I'm saying?
I did see a couple spots. Trish Stratus looked like she knows how to fight. Like she was throwing smoke with her strikes.
Well, not just that. She takes
Kickboxing?
her bumps really well.
Right.
The best part of everything was when Lynch was in there with Bailey. That was the best part. Yeah.
Right. All right. So next,
well, you guys both picked the babyface team. I picked the heels. I thought Becky was going to turn or something like that. It didn't happen. So
yeah. So Joe, what are you 1-3, right? Two. Like you got losing records so far. Have you?
It's going to continue that way too because I also picked Dom.
All right. So Dom and Ray, and they did a deal at the beginning. They showed Ray like Dom was in prison, and like he was coming from prison straight to the arena in the corrections vehicle. So it was entertaining. So then Snoop Dogg comes. Ray drives Snoop Dogg in Eddie Guerrero's entrance theme. Bad Bunny was at ringside.
It was actually three themes. It was Nothing But a G Thing, which popped the crowd because California, you know, and then Eddie's thing, and then Ray's theme.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they did
entrances.
Right. So they did a deal. They did deal. Ray had Dom in the corner, and Dom's back was to him. So Ray took his belt off and started whipping him into the ass with the belt, which got a huge pop.
Right.
Just a good match. The Damon Priest and Balor showed up at ringside. This is like a 50-50 match too. So like they look good. So then the Escobar's crew come down. They fight with they chase off the other guys. So they did a deal where Priest had taken his jacket off and left it on the ring apron. So Dom goes over to the jacket with the referee down and goes and grabs a chain out of the jacket, Bad Bunny comes from ringside, yanks the chain away, then feeds into Ray, dropkick him in the ropes and hit the 619 and the top rope splash and beat him. And after this, they celebrate and everything. But this is, of course, the right. There was no way they were going to have the kid beat the dad here. The storyline was like that the young punk kid gets his ass beat, and that's how the story ended. What did you think of this?
A great entrance. I love when Ray took off his belt. This is the one where he threw the water in his sister's face, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was great. They had a lot of smoke and mirrors. They had Bad Bunny interfere with the chain. They had the Legado come in. They had Priest come in. When Ray was on top of Dominik's shoulders and Dominik threw him into the turnbuckle and he hit his face on the bottom turnbuckle, he legit opened up his lip and he still had it. I saw him yesterday and his lip was still up. But that was a good match. That was a good match.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
A former WWE writer texted me after the match and said that was a 5-star classic because of the story that it told and the build up and everything. And you could make that argument with the way that story was built.
Right. Yeah, that was great. It was great.
Right. So next is,
when they went over the day before, I was like, "This is going to be incredible," and it was.
Were you in there? Oh, so you were part of when they were going over the match.
Yeah.
Okay. You actually, I asked you about that yesterday. And you wouldn't confirm that.
Right.
So now you have confirmed it. Okay.
No, I was there. That's all I can say.
Right. Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. Just another great match. These two are just, Charlotte's probably the best women's worker out there, and Rhea's top 5. And when you're watching these girls work, and you just look at the physicality, you're looking at the facial expressions, the timing, the selling, bro. These girls are just on a different level than you could just tell the difference in talent between a lot of the women. The ones that are at the top, the A-list talent, and the B-listers, and then Flair and Rhea are B-listers. But the right person went over here, Rhea with the riptide, and she got the 1, 2, 3. What did you think of this?
This was great. The great thing is this passes the eye test. They're both tall. They're both athletic. They look like wrestlers.
Right.
And, Flair was hitting her with her chops. People were going, woo.
Right.
And then she was starting to, work her legs so she could, set her up for that figure 8 submission. So good logic there. Very, very physical battle, and we saw power moves and a little bit of everything. Their strikes look really good, This was great. I thought this was great.
So next,
and let me tell you what made it even greater. I thought the build-up to this was brutal. I knew the match would be good, and it was, but the build-up was brutal. And I also like the German suplex Ripley hit on her from the top turnbuckle.
Yeah, that looked brutal.
Yeah. So next is they did an in-ring thing with Miz, and I just was this really was. I wouldn't even consider this like a match because Miz was dressed in his suit. Right. But they did a deal where Pat McAfee comes out, gets in Miz's face. They end up having a short little impromptu match where George Kittle was at ringside and got involved, and Pat McAfee beat the Miz in 3 minutes. Just a good little thing to get Pat McAfee as pop, and George Kittle was surprisingly more over than I thought he would be in LA because he's a San Francisco guy. So, but this is just filler. I don't really have much to say about this. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know why Snoop can make matches, but he did.
Right.
And then all of a sudden a referee, appeared.
Right.
But yeah, it was just a fun little spot to, get a pop and get McAfee over and celebrity engagement with Kittle, and Miz can do a million jobs and he'll still stay over.
Yeah. So next was the main event of night 1. The tag match had been building up for 6 months. Owens and Zayn against the Usos. About what you'd expect. This is a classic, typical WWE style main event, bro. And you could just see like this is the difference between these guys and how in AEW they got a lot of indie guys, right? Bro, there's just the pace and the timing, and the after stuff like big spots. They give the crowd enough of time to get with it and start getting the anticipation for the next spot. Like it's just like they take.
Yeah, they're just not going back and forth and back.
Right. Back and forth. There's they do a big sell, then the people start cheering for the baby. You know what I'm saying? So you just give the fans time to dictate the action and make it more. It just adds more to the match. When you slow it down and you have, bro, you don't have to do a ton of dangerous looking. I mean, these guys were doing some, they got the apron stuff and everything I'm not a fan of, but like, when you're over, you don't have to kill yourself out there, and so they did the finish where Sami Zayn hit 3 haluva kicks on Jey Uso, did the good sell where he was like holding him in his arms after he kicked him and put him back. Yeah, just good drama. And the right, they went over, the crowd popped huge. People were crying in the crowd.
I couldn't
Did you see
believe
that?
Yeah, it was like, you're crying over this?
Right.
I guess some people are more invested than I am.
Right. So, but any comments on this?
Nah, bro, the crowd, SoFi Stadium, what a beautiful place, beautiful set, man. It was a beautiful, beautiful set. But anyways,
Right.
They were hot for this match. The storytelling, the in-ring was great. Everybody, all 4 guys I thought looked great, main event worthy. They knew they were in the main event and they all delivered. This was a great match.
Yeah. So on ProWrestling.net, the WrestleMania Night 1 poll results of the show. Okay, A is great show, B is good show, C is average show, D is disappointing show, and F is awful show. All right, what percentage of the fans do you think said it was a great show?
Well, if it's less than 80%, I'd be surprised.
It's 80%.
Wow.
How many people thought it was a good show?
What's left, 20%?
15%.
Yeah.
So 95% of the fans thought it was a good or great show.
Right.
And these other haters,
right,
2% said it was average, 1% said it was disappointing. 7 out of 955 votes, 7 people said it was disappointing, and 18 said it was awful.
Disappointing.
Yeah, and then and another bunch said it was awful.
Yeah,
I think you'll see a negative poll, more of a negative.
Right, that's like
you know nothing about wrestling.
Yeah.
You'll see more of a negative poll for night 2, I think.
Yeah.
Well, night 2 wasn't as good as night 1.
Plus, everybody was upset about the Cody thing.
Yeah. So yeah, what would you? So let's see the results from the best match poll too. Best match, 48% tag match main event, 40% Charlotte and Rhea. Nothing else was above 4% was Ray and Dom, 3% Logan Paul. Everything was 0-1. Yeah, but those the last 2. Brothers, how it should go. The last 2 matches the fans thought were the best. So yeah. So good night 1. I was very entertained. I watched it. I watched the whole thing, even though I was doing something else during the damage control match, and I'm like, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
No, and I did another match. Like, take a while against the other match I missed on night 2 that I didn't care to watch.
The girls' match.
Yes.
Right.
Both of the girls' matches I did not care to watch.
Right.
All right, so that's been our WrestleMania Night 1 review.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.